Welcome to a late IHP show with your lovely 5D mystic here, ready to share some more on our lovely spirituality journey. So for 5D collective, very different than 4D. We don't romanticize or demonize any of those topics such as mental health, mental hygiene, learning about our mammalian heritage versus, being in survival mode. So we don't want a medal of honor? Yes, that for doing emotions. Number one. So no Elsa journey, but it is something that we're like, you know what? It's really amazing to know what secure attachment is. So for me, I'm attachment trauma informed, and knowing how to share with you what spirituality is too. I learned all about spirituality as a mystic all by myself. No, of course not. I have information out there, but I want to say my journey with everything spirituality begins with Jesus and God. So I know that they're usually used in ancient texts for ancient people, but they're also used for the spirituality community. And then I have lovely Sadhguru, who's my yoga guy and guru guy, all of it. Everybody else is relative because they're all ancient, and he's pretty good at everything, and he's exuberant. So he knows his actual ventral vagal state and his restored embodiment self. So I know he knows what he's talking about versus the Zen masters who say you have laundry. Yeah, those ones, they come, I think, from the path of loss and pain to enlightenment, and they don't seem to have moved beyond their sympathetic mode. Somehow they don't do emotions well, and I think they could meet the Dalai Lama maybe to get that, tidbit about how he shares with the guy who says, how dare you smile in the face of all this suffering. Sounds like the ones who say that those of us who smile, that it's fake and we're depressed. Some people actively have happiness inside of them, and some people just, don't want to believe it's true. So the ones who don't, that's for the other collectives, and they get to be Pinocchios with wooden bodies. Why wouldn't? Because when the left mode's working alone, that inner child won't see the light of day, which is actually the pure consciousness that you can be. It's unconditional love, and the pure energy, well, it's your inner child. So I do know that those who have trauma, more than just the trauma charges, I had trauma charges too. We all do. But I'm saying the ones who have big trauma and then small trauma. So events that have taken a toll on their nervous system, and more than just that. Okay, so those people that are healing, they want people like us, so they can have healthy self-worth life partners versus those who are going to basically look like they're people who love spirituality, and then they turn out to be spiritual bypassers. Yes, the ones who are martyr superiors, blamers, or basically the squirrel from Cusco land. I've seen them. There's plenty of them. And I see the teenagers. So when you notice a teenager, remember, I say teenagers for all the adoptive child. So they're not in the upper world yet. Nope, no upper world. They do have clairs, but they're using their amygdala versus their prefrontal cortex, and their frontal lobes are flopped down, so they are still in that safety behavior mode. Now, they would notice if they paid attention to how much they love humanity. So as long as you love all people from your open heart, so you don't get frustrated, you don't get irritated, you're ready to do more emotional stuff. If you are, come on board one-to-one mentorship. So you're not cursed to see people. No. So we use the word today, curse, karma, the past stuff. Yeah, it's not a curse, but since people, emotions, they seem to want laundry, or they seem to think it's really hard, or no, they feel. So they don't want to expand that window of tolerance. And they don't notice that beloveds, so twin flame or flames or soulmates, oversoul, they're all beloveds. Okay, so every single person is a part of that upper world, and nobody's cursed except for the spiritual bypassers who think of negative and positive energy and talk about people as dark auras, energy vampires, negative. They don't do Reiki with them. They get worried about it. They actually think because they do yoga, they're more positive than others. And they treat people like shit too. I've seen it. Then we have the ones who do yoga and Buddhism and a lot more, and then they treat people like shit. So there's that too. So, and in all cases, what you're going to notice is true spirituality are people who treat people like people and not like shit. We also don't, act like we know everything, and we don't get... So rigidity is the actual survival mode, and you see many modulated embodied self people think that that's the way that you stand up for things. So I've tried sharing with individuals that's your 16-year-old fight, that's a trauma charge. It's your basic trauma charge. So you being in modulated embodied self is not your inner or outer well-being, nor is it Jesus's path. So yeah, light workers, a 5D collective, we know what our path is. It's called, we're humans, first of all. The earth is round, we're not flat earthers, and we know yoga doesn't bring demons out of you. And when it comes to clairs, we know it's part of our human body. And Jesus taught me a lot. So did God. We're brothers and sisters. So when you meet twin flame or flames, you don't think they're, what's the word, destined, yes, to be with you. No, they're destined to be with whoever they want to be. You, on the other hand, if you're a light worker, you'll know I'm getting to learn stuff. Yeah, I get to learn how to keep on being I'm present. So 5D Collective, come on over here to do spiritual awakening guidance journey the 5D way, because I'm sure you're going to have a lot more fun with the prefrontal cortex and emotional stuff, since you don't have laundry. You don't want a star, special golden star for doing emotions. I'm just saying, all about unconditional love, the heart of source. Jesus talked about it. I mean, the ones who compare themselves to Jesus, I sounded very, what was it? No, not me, but they definitely did. So when you meet people who are spiritual bypassers, they actively think, you can tell, they're like, oh, maybe I'm it, because, they're all waiting. I already know what I needed to know a long time ago. Anybody who is 5D knows exactly what I'm talking about. All-encompassing love, unconditional acceptance, serenity, the heart of source. So, if there's one thing a upper world person will know, what's the truth? So let me ask you, do you think a person who loves all equally, who walks with all, who in fact walked the planet like a human being, because that's exactly what he was, puts aside all the other stuff, miracles, yes, science explains it, but, between Newtonian and quantum physics, I'm sure the physicists explain a lot too. So base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. When you own your 1-year-old like I do, you can be okay without a person. And that's why we don't do, oh my gosh, I lost a life partner sticks around. They don't come in and out of your life. They don't treat you in certain ways. That's just in general. It's not just romantic. Actually, romance needs to be built, and you're not going to build romance if you're coming in and out. Just any smart woman, man, or they will know this, which is why we're not like, oh, please give me a Medal of Honor for emotions in relationships. Does nobody know? There's so many fish out in the sea. Told my teenage friends all about it. Then I saw them get older, and now they're all saying there's no men or women or they. I'm like, yes, there are. There's plenty of them. Just go get a good app, get a good therapist, make your list very clear. The willpower. Anybody have it? I know I do. I love love. It's beautiful. Oh, and yes, Akashic Records. I'm an Akashic Record reader. It's really fun to go to them. Freedom, yes. Clearing old stories. So when you try to explain to somebody how to clear out the 16-year-old and release that past, they figure it out. Some do. So you can walk a mule to the well, a donkey. We're all jackasses, but some of us, we drink the water. It's called, we're all humans, Gaia. We want to, create an ecosystem. Learning experiences, wisdom, transmission, earth intelligence. So you gain intelligence from knowing that you're not cursed because of meeting people, and that nobody is having to stay anywhere, and that love is free, by the way. I never thought of, oh, you need to give me something back because I loved you. I got taught with a child-centric environment, so I got lucky. I also got taught how to work with my mood so I wouldn't bring it into the room, but not in a way of making me feel like I should be ashamed. No, it was more of, okay, life is short. You got 2 hands, you got 2 feet. You don't have to whine about it. And then when you have an open heart, you're like, okay. And Jesus teaches you how to have an open heart. So does God. So twin flame, soulmates, relationships, spirituality. It's not about how much pain or loss you go to. That's for a group of people who have a Zen master who tells them about laundry. Some have wisdom and bliss. That's because we work with our left mode and our right. We know that our thoughts and emotions are not irrefutable facts. Come do emotional accountability, self-awareness, and regulation. 5D relationships, we have fun with all people, and we support people to heal from trauma seriously. Because there's plenty of adaptive children and maladaptive children. They're grown-ups. They want healthy self-worth partners, so they don't have to be with strombolies all the time, spiritual bypassers, savior complex people, low self-esteem, and dark communicators. They're passive-aggressive. They don't know boundaries at all, and believe me, they think they can control things. They have wool pulled over their eyes a lot. We don't. It's fun. It's fun to grow up. It's fun to feel emotions. It's fun to think. It's fun to love. And I look forward to seeing you back. So like, share, subscribe if you know there's somebody who wants to resonate. Tune in.